G'day everybody, thanks for coming along on this new and wild adventure I'm on. There's two things that are happening today. One, I'm going out on a wild wilderness camp, setting up for a few days. So setting up something out of the natural things I find lying on the ground, like logs and trees and sticks and branches, leaves. The other exciting adventure I'm on is what we're doing with NZ Fun Adventures. So this week we've turned that into a business, and we are excited, with Chloe's lovely support for me, to be going full-time outdoors. So you'll be seeing lots of new adventures, lots of group adventures coming up, lots of cool content, and lots of interesting ways that you can join with us to help get yourself outside, get into nature, go camping, hiking, paddleboarding, you name it. Learning things for the outdoors, how to keep safe, how to look after the environment that we have that's so precious. These are all things that will be coming up, and I just couldn't be happier. So welcome along on this adventure. I won't focus too much on what we've got coming up. We've got a big job, but for now I'm going to enjoy a couple of days clearing my head, getting myself sorted so that we can take hit the ground running and do a really cool job. So I hope you like the camp that I'm going to set up for myself, and next time I see you I'll be at camp and hopefully found a site that works for what I'm doing. All right, see you soon. Here's my little wild camp. I'm spending the afternoon building this.
Welcome to my bedroom, my lounge, my kitchen if it's wet, whatever. Pretty cool shelter. When I was at home thinking about coming out and doing this, I thought I had some pretty elaborate ideas of doing it all out of wood and packing it in with dead fern leaves and all sorts of stuff. But reality is sometimes when you get to a location, you only have access to whatever's there. And, you know, I'm never going to cut down a living tree, those sort of things. I never promote that. So you can, for me, I can only use what's available. And whilst there was quite a bit of wood around, a lot of it is just rotten and had it, because I'm only taking stuff off the ground. So I ended up using my my tarp, my fly. It's a 3 meter by 3 meter size. Perfect size, I think. You know, people ask me all the time, what size tarp should I get? I seriously would say 1 to 2 people, a 3 by 3 meter tarp, perfect size. You can do so many different configurations with it and different uses and what have you. So yeah, that's what my roof is. But everything else, the structure of this is made out of wood that I found on the ground, which is cool. But what I wanted to show you is my bed. I mean, that's what I ended up focusing on because I couldn't build the shelter that I thought of. I thought at least I can build or make a bed that I'll be happy to sleep on. Because my alternative was sleeping on the ground, which is absolutely fine. But when you are on the ground, especially when you have a mat and a quilt and certain things, a sleeping bag or whatever, when you're on the ground and the ground is wet, especially overnight, it gets dewy. All of your stuff runs the risk of getting wet, and I just wanted to avoid that really. If you don't have to, why would you? So lots of other good reasons, right? Getting elevated, it's much more comfortable getting in. I mean, here's my bed. You know, I can sit in this. This is a good bed. You know, it's stable, it's comfortable. I can take my shoes off. It's really good. So, you know, for all those wondering, how, you know, is it a bit sketchy? Nah, you know, this thing would hold a bit of weight. So, we're getting a lot of feedback, a lot of questions around using a quilt, which I'm a quilt convert now. So I wanted to show you that, but maybe my entire setup, I've probably never done a video on that. So this will be my attempt at doing that. This is what it looks like done. But what I'm using here is, this is a One Planet quilt. This is the Quest Pro. A down quilt. Comes in a couple of sizes, but and a couple of temperature ratings. So this is a -3. They also do a 0 degree bag quilt. Sorry. The -3 for me so far has got me sleeping perfectly. I haven't yet unlocked all of the answers to why a quilt is so amazing. I think you can. There's an X factor to it, and I haven't pinned it down to what that is. If you ever get the chance to use one, I highly recommend it. It is something of what I'd call a game changer. So yes, I mean, I can tell you all the key points to why you use a quilt. There's so much more room to flexibility to move around in it. You're not constricted like you might be in a sleeping bag. It's great perhaps during summer, or if you're a hot sleeper and you need to regulate your temperature. You can obviously get arms and legs out really easy because it is open, or can be open on the sides. You'll see here it's tethered. So one of the questions people will ask me is, doesn't it just fall off in the night? Well, I have tethered mine. You loop it underneath with straps. They're all the same, doesn't really matter which brand, they'll all have some loop attachment system. So mine is attached here, and nearly at the feet. So from my waist down, it won't come off. It can't slide off or whatever. And I normally kind of, with this section, I'll kind of like just wrap it around around my neck especially if it is really cold. I'll snuggle into it, and I'll sort of crawl down and I'll be almost underneath it. So um, it doesn't move from this position. It can't, you can't, other than the top opening. These are the tether points, so they're all the way down the bag. The quilt, keep calling it a bag, so used to it. Really lightweight, easy to carry, so they pack down really small. That is probably why you would use it if you're doing a lot of tramping, things like that. But if you're car camping and you're just scrambling for room, if that's a real issue, which I know it is for a lot of people, this can make a big difference. One of these compared to let's say a quilt from home, what you might know as a quilt, this will be about that big, packed down, and your quilt at home will be large, right? So if each family member had one of these, they'd have an amazing sleep, be nice and warm and cozy and comfortable, and your pack down is nothing in the car when it comes time to go. So that would be a great reason. You're not, if you are tramping, or you're definitely doing something a bit more extreme where you're kind of like, but a sleeping bag wraps right around you. What the thing with sleeping bags is you compress any of the insulation, the down that's underneath you. So you compress it. So it's not giving you the thermal insulation that that you'd like. So knowing that, there's no ultimate need to have something underneath you, which is the purpose of the quilt. And it relies heavily on the mat that you would use. Exactly the same as a sleeping bag. A sleeping bag still requires you to have a thermally regulated mat when you're in those extreme temperatures. So if you're finding you're cold, it's probably because either the bag or the quilt or whatever you're using is not warm enough, not rated enough for you. It's way outside of what you need. But probably it is the mat that you're on top of, whatever that mat is probably not providing you the thermal insulation required, and you're just getting cold from underneath. Even inside a sleeping bag, that will happen. 100% that will happen. So in talking about that, I'll jump down here. Let me tell you about this mat. Or maybe I'll start with this pillow. I've been using the Peak XV Wisp Ultralight pillow. Really easy to use. Super deluxe quilted top on the top that you lie on. It feels warm on the face. It's not insulated, this pillow, but it feels like it is. It's just very nice and warm on the face with the fabric that they've used. Easy clean. This actually comes off, so you can wash it. Now I have mine about 70% full of air. Some people like them puffed right up. I've found mine, this gives me a lot of, almost like a pillow at home. There's lots of movement and flexibility in there. Nice and small, packs down, its little carry bag is attached, part of it, and it packs down nice and small, just all in that. All of this just goes in there, so brilliant. This is just a luxury, but because it packs down so small and weighs virtually nothing, it's just you just have to take it, in my opinion. Why wouldn't you? I'm using a Kiwi Ultralight mat sheet on top of my sleep mat. It's just nice. Do you need to use it? I guess not, but do you sleep straight on the mattress at home? No. I don't know why you do it when you're out camping either. So again, it packs down so small, it's so light. I could totally understand you wouldn't want to take one if it was a cumbersome thing to carry. This is small. But underneath this is where the magic happens, I think. This is my, I'll open this up, I'm not going to be able to do it at all because it stays on there nicely. This is my Peak XV Max Comfort mat. You'll hear me talking about it a lot. This is 12 centimeters of height. It is rated thermally to an R7.2, which is really good. It's a really good. Can you get higher? Yeah. The key feature when we're looking at all of these things, so all the products that Chloe and I look at, I'm always looking at specification. I'm looking at what is it offering, and I'm matching it to other products out there. And then lastly, what I look at, or in that mix, what I'm looking at is the cost. So I'm looking at value for money. So whatever products cost that I might be showing you, I have counted and factored in that it is at a price point. But trust me, other mats in this sort of range of specification are pushing well above double the price for different brands. So that to me is a combination of product spec, performance. I mean, I've had this at the top of mountains, or a mountain, straight on the ground. I've had this in tents, straight on the floor of a tent. I've had this on a stretcher. I've had this in a swag. I've had this in a house. I've had this now on a wooden deadwood bed, rustic bed. There's not too many places that I have taken this mat that I'd be surprised if you are all going to test it out that way. It doesn't fail me. It's stable, comfortable, and it's warm. It keeps me warm. There's been a couple of occasions where I've almost felt the warmth returning, bouncing back to me, which is a really cool thing. So it has that real reflective nature to thermal properties. So that's what you want. So when I'm showing this thing, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, you're getting a huge amount of comfort. It does weigh a little bit more. We're talking 900 grams, which, is that a lot? I guess so. But I balance that with I'd rather be comfortable and warm than uncomfortable and cold, and saving some weight. You forget how much things weigh when you drop your pack at the hut or at your campsite. You forget all about that. So I will sacrifice other things that I don't require, I don't deem as important, in favour of taking something like this. In this range, there is another one called a Hyperlight, and another one called a Minimalist. The Hyperlight is definitely probably caters more to somebody if you're wanting to manage the carry weight. It is a lot lower, nearly half the weight. So that would be a good option if that was just such a high priority for you on your list of things to tick off. So that's it, guys. Hopefully that helps you. I'm going to drop a code in here. So for this mat, we're able to provide a 15% discount through Dwight's to our members. So we're excited to do that for you, and thank you, Dwight, for providing that opportunity. We know already so many people have gone and taken advantage of that, and I get a lot of feedback from people using the mat, just how wonderful it is from them. So hopefully, Dwight, you get that feedback too, because it is your mat, you've created it, you've done all the amazing stuff, so good on you. All right, that's me. I think I'm gonna head out, and I'm gonna check my little fire there. It's just outside of the camera, and I'm gonna make myself a coffee, I think. Well deserved. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Normally I'd start with a coffee, but this morning, I don't know, I just felt like a hot chocolate. Sweet, tasty. I do have though coffee for afterwards. Get that down me.